place to be, where art, life, and spirituality connects you and me. Science of mind and spirit, the foundation we teach and live. Love, joy, and belonging are the gifts we have to give. Our consciousness, our being, open at the bottom, open at the top. We're not simply one with God, but we are it itself. It will never stop. SIA, our spiritual center, family and home. It's where we come to practice and remember there is only one life, one mind, one infinite, eternal, self-existent. 'Cause we pause, embodying all that we are. We shine like a glorious star. Our consciousness, our being, open at the bottom, open at the top. We're not simply one with God, but we are it itself. It will never stop. SIA, our spiritual center, family and home. It's where we come to practice and remember there is only one. Spirituality is our way of life. We value laughter, truth, and justice. We express artistry as our living practice. So come and join us at SIA. Know you found a community that will love you every day.
Namaste, greetings and blessings, and welcome to the Center for Spiritually Integrated Arts. This is our Sunday message, and I am Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, the founder and spiritual director of this center. And I invite you to watch not only this Sunday message, but any of our archived messages. I invite you to join any classes or events that we have going on. I invite you to reach out and email if you have any questions. Questions about this community, questions about me, questions about what we do, or questions about this science of mind and spirit, liberation theology that we practice and teach. And if by chance you find yourself seeking beloved community with other like-minded beings, even if you already belong, are a member of another community, church, or center, you are more than free to have multiple affiliations wherever you are fed and find community. You are invited. And lastly, feel free to click like, subscribe, and share this or any other message or announcements with others in your circle. And with that, much appreciation, love, and blessings. Enjoy the message.
SIA is the place to be. So buckle up, we're making history. And if you are willing, repeat after me. I am love. I am love. it right. One more time. I am love. I am joy. I am divine. Amen. Yes, you are. Amen. Yes, you are. Now today's message begins.
Namaste and greetings. Do you feel that? You feel that, right? Love is in the air. So are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. So as we continue our discussion in June, higher, deeper love. Today, love is in the air. One way to think about love is thinking about it in terms of our shared humanity and all of the things that come within the container called humanity, which includes things like what? Collective trauma, mistakes of the past, successes, grief, gratitude. Like all of the things that you can think of that a human can experience is included in this shared humanity, even if you've never experienced it. Even if you have never experienced a Holocaust, a genocide, even if you have not experienced a war, domestic violence, been a victim of arson, even if you have not experienced it, it is still a part of our shared humanity, as well as our current practices. What are we doing right now to help, to nurture, to protect, to sustain, to build, to develop, to evolve collectively? That too is our shared humanity. How are we evolving forward, moving forward, so that we are no longer victims of, quote unquote, the past? So, that being the case, love is not simply in the air, love is the air itself. Ruach, Hebrew word, Jewish word, the breath of God, God's breath, God as breath. This breath breathing itself as us and all that is. We may not think of, a mouse breathing, doesn't have lungs, but the breath does not only mean breathing with lungs and air. Breathing is simply being. So all that is being breathed. Now, how do we live this idea, Ruach? the universe breathing itself as us. How do we live this in an embodied and applicable way rather than just as a mental concept? Something we say we believe, but it's not showing up in our actions. Are you by any chance? Let's go back for a second. So if you are willing, let's explore deeper. Are you ready? Ruach. Take it in. Means various things. Ruach. It means breath. It means wind. It means spirit. It means heart, mind, the heart-mind connection. It means strength. It means temper. Pause on that word, because I've been told that it means temper more so in the way that one would talk about crafting a sword and it being tempered, or tempered glass. Now, I'm not sure how accurate that is if we were to ask a rabbi, but that's what was explained to me, that temper is not temper as in terms of anger, but temper in terms of making something stronger. It is also capital S spirit. So the infinite spirit and the individual spirit. It's all of these. Okay. Okay. I'm just taking it in because that's a lot. So when I'm sitting on the porch and I feel the breeze, that breeze is Ruach. When I am working out in the gym and developing greater physical strength, or meditating, heart, mind, strength, spirit, strength, it's Ruach. Ruach, a Hebrew word meaning spirit, wind, or breath, appearing nearly 400 times in the Old Testament. It is used to denote an unseen, animating force. It represents the divine presence, Ruach Elohim, the breath of life in all living creatures and all things, and the power of God as it is acting both in and through the world. To me, the word God is a synonym for love, life, truth, beauty, reality, the absolute, the divine presence, the universal spirit, because God is universal. God is in and as each of us, because if it wasn't, we could not exist. We could not be. We could not live. There would be no us. Okay. My belief that God is love, that love is everything, our true destiny, that sustains me. All awakening to love is spiritual awakening. Okay. Now, I could say something about those of us who are woke and what that woke actually means in terms of our spirituality, but I may save that for a different day. For now, simply consider the idea that regarding this spiritual awakening, when 51% awaken spiritually, we will manifest what? A world that works for all. How much? 51%. That's the tipping point. That's now become the majority. So how do we get to this 51%? You don't wait for it. You don't wait for love to happen to you. You go out there and you feel the breeze, Ruach, and sniff the air, Ruach. You go out there and you feel God. Sniff and inhale the aroma of the divine. The fragrance of love will come wafting towards you in no time. It simply is there already. You are bringing your awareness to what already is. So rather than waiting for 51%, how are we engaging our practices? Just saying. So how are we making our thoughts, our words, our actions and behaviors, our emotions and feelings as we interact with people, as we invest our time? How are we individually, for now, individually, doing this 51% more? So, for example, when I am communicating, whether it's verbally, whether it's in sign language, typing an email or a text, am I making sure that 51% of the words used, of the manner in which I communicate, 51% is demonstrating the divine, love, peace, harmony? Or is 51% being used for, I can't stand these people, they getting upon my nerves, I just want to leave them alone. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Is that what the 51% is? I can't stand them. I hate them. How much of my time? 51% of my day? 51% of my afternoon? How much of that time is spent being mindfully aware of principle and the values of Science of Mind and Spirit 4.0? See, because oftentimes we think, I'm supposed to do it 100% of the time. Don't worry about 100% of the time right now. Focus on, can you do it the majority of 51% of your day? Are you aware? 51% of your thoughts, are they aligned with? 51% of your emotions and feelings, are they aligned with? 51%. And then as we move about this world and interact with others, their 51% also includes and increases, and because we will feel it wafting in no time. But many of us seek community solely to escape. Oh, Bell. Did you just, because I remember when I used to do that, but okay, but many of us seek community solely to escape the fear of being alone. Knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. When we can be alone, then we can be with others without using them as a means of escape. Ooh, this one this here one hit hard because I've been there, associating with or going out with people just because I didn't want to be alone, dating people because I didn't want to be alone. So how do we demonstrate, as Bell Hooks says, being able to be alone, solitary, is central to the art of loving? Because when we can be alone, we no longer vampirism, we no longer siphon our energy from others. I do not want to be alone. You must come to be with me. I don't know why I'm doing that. Anyhow, come to be with me, for I do not like to be alone. Come here. Remember that movie, Jerry Maguire? The elevator scene? You complete me. That's this. No one completes us. We are already complete. We can then complement. I'm complete. You're complete. And in our completeness, we can complement one another. But if I need you to complete me, then without you, which is why jealousy and such things show up, is because people are now addicted to the relationship, to the other person. They need them. They don't want them. They need them. I need your blood. I need your energy. I need, you cannot leave me. And then all manner of hell breaks loose. Breathe. So oftentimes we engage in relationships, etc., with other people simply to avoid being alone, to avoid engaging in deeper exploration of who and what we are. Okay? Why do we avoid that stuff? What's the problem with, right? Like, ask yourself, how do I medicate rather than meditate? In other words, how do I use people, places, or things to medicate myself rather than engaging in the practice to the depths of what it could actually be? Because we use a variety of things to medicate ourselves, to avoid rather than engage. We would rather escape rather than engage. We would rather avoid rather than engage. We would rather ignore and deny rather than engage. Because engaging scares us. Being authentic, being vulnerable scares us. And so we find a way to medicate ourselves. Breathe. The wounded child. The wounded child inside many males is a boy who, when he first spoke his truths, was silenced by paternal sadism, by a patriarchal world that did not want him to claim his true feelings. The wounded child inside many females is a girl who was taught from early childhood that she must become something other than herself, that she must deny her true feelings in order to attract and please others. When men and women punish each other for truth-telling, we reinforce the notion that lies, denial, avoidance is better. To be loving, we willingly hear the other's truth. And most importantly, we affirm the value of truth-telling. Lies may make people feel better, but they do not help them to know love. We avoid this. We have been stifled and silenced so often, so much for so long that it scares us to even go to the place of the wounded child. It scares us to stop lying to ourselves and others, to encourage truth-telling. What if I don't like the truth they're going to tell me? What if I don't like it? This isn't about liking it. It's about, are you embodying love enough to hear it, to simply be present to it? That's it. Do you love yourself enough to listen, to receive, to just be without defense? Let the other person tell their truth, whatever that truth may be. So I'm sure you are familiar with the concept of the red pill and the blue pill regarding the matrix. Simply reminding that we always have a choice. We always have a choice. No matter what, there's always a choice. Now, the question is, what will we choose? What life-affirming choice right now am I being asked to make? There's always crossroads and possibilities and opportunities. Did you know that there is a theory within the concept of the multiverse in quantum mechanics and such? There is a theory that says, okay, for example, let me use me. When I was graduating high school and opting to go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, I chose to go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. But there is another version of me and another multiverse that did not go to the Art Institute. And so this me branched off. Another me branched off. And so every time we make a choice, there's another branch. So Tracy said, so what are we going to eat tonight? Tacos or pizza? We choose pizza. There's another version of us that chose tacos. Okay, we're eating tacos. Are we going to watch a movie or a series? Let's watch a movie. There's another version of us that branches off that watches series. Which series? Which movie? There's another version that branches off. We are always making choices, and those choices impact what happens going forward. So what life-affirming choice right now are you being invited to make? To love well is the task in all meaningful relationships, not just romantic bonds. Ooh, that just reminded me of, see if I can find this real quick. Bear with me for a second, because I just saw something online referencing this idea. I don't think I saved it, but they were saying or expressing the idea that When we fall in love, we are actually creating greater brain health and more neurons and synapses fire that keep the brain healthy. Ties into this. Now, they were referencing falling in love. Falling in love doesn't have to be only romance. Falling in love is simply being in love. To love. To love well is the task in all meaningful relationships, not just romantic bonds. What does it mean for you to love well? Where there is love, there is life. When you're in love, the world often appears more vibrant and more meaningful. Now, what did I just say about being in love? In love isn't specifically eros. It's not just about romance. Are you in love? When I'm in my library, I love it here. I love the space. I love the space. Therefore, when I am in my library, where we are right now, I am in love. Now, we say, I'm in love with such and such, such and such. Yeah, I got that. Linguistic convenience. But you are in love with whomever you love. Let's play a game for a second. You see this environment, right? What animals would you expect to be in this environment? Whether it's on the ground or in the sky, what animals, creatures would you expect to inhabit this terrain? Do these fit? They don't fit. But where do they fit? Right. Oftentimes we think of being in love the way we think of fish swimming in the sky. Right? Like we apply it in a way that really isn't accurate. Fish swim not in the air. Fish swim in the water. They're surrounded by it. It moves through their gills and things in order for them to breathe. Even the sea mammals that come to the surface, they're still in the water. And even things like sea turtles, they will come out of the water to lay eggs and then go back into the sea. And then when the eggs hatch, they then migrate to the sea. They are in water. And we are invited to be in love in the same way. Get where I'm saying? You get the invitation. It is already around us. Are we breathing it? It is already around us. Do we feel it? It is already moving through us and in us and as us. Do we smell it? Do we taste it? Or are we relegating love to one specific box, one ring for the person I am in love with, and that is it? I'm not in love with anyone else, including myself, because it sounds foolish to say I am in love with me. Why does it sound foolish? It shouldn't. It's love. And love is God. It's one and the same. If love is God, then to be in love is to be in God, which we always are. Let us say that again. If love is God, that's what we say, then to be in love is to be in God, and we are always in God because there's only God. So the invitation is to be more consciously aware of this and to embody this and to live this. That's the invitation. Are we willing to be so consumed that we can't help but to embody it and to live it? Love must go forth to meet love. All people are rooted in God, and it is only as we go down to the roots of our being that we unify with others in spirit and in truth. Everything that follows is life acting upon itself, life moving life, life living life forever. So love must go forth to meet love. For we are all rooted, connected at the roots, connected to that which is the infinite and the all, inseparable from it. So a world that works for all, rooted God. Me, rooted God. You, rooted God. All, rooted God. To what degree are we aware of it? To what degree are we embodying it? To what degree are we living it? Because just like a tree, it is open at the top, open at the bottom. And it is through this awareness and this practice that we create a world that works for all. But it means we must embrace the wounded child. We must stop avoiding, stop medicating simply for the sake of avoiding. Medicating isn't the problem. It's when we chronically medicate. It's now an addiction. Someone who has severe back pain due to a car accident and they take an opioid for the pain, that's normal. But if they are now addicted to it and they cannot do without it, then there's the problem. And many of us are addicted to the trauma and the pain. We don't even realize that we are. I know I didn't. For years, I had no idea. I couldn't even conceptualize the concept of being addicted to the trauma. But now, understanding what true connection is and true divinity is, I understand what it means to choose differently, to live from a new choice. See, so it's not just change your thinking, change your mind. Make a new choice. Make a new life-affirming choice that will bring about the desired experience. When we let the love that is within us, quote unquote, when we let that love go out to the God who is in all people and all animals and all places and all things, and the divine presence that is in and as all things, then we are loving God with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our mind, because we are recognizing that the Spirit, not just within us, but that is us, is the same Spirit that we meet in and as others. And this is what it means to love our neighbors as ourselves. When Tracy is out in her garden and loving what she's doing, Tracy is demonstrating her love of God. Now, whether she's aware of that or not, I don't know, but I'm aware of it. When I am playing with the neighbor's dogs and I'm in sheer joy playing with them, I am loving God. When I go for a walk up at the park through the trails, I am loving God. To what degree are you aware of, as you let your love meet the love of others, even those who do not know how to do so, you still love, like the Good Samaritan. You still are a beneficial presence that is a demonstration of your love of and for God. So how do you meet people? There are many ways that we greet, right? When you're first introduced to somebody, there are many ways we shake hands or bow or namaste or and all kinds of things. But beyond the external gesture, how aware are you of your deeper connection to these individuals and how that connection ripples, how that love ripples? So a handshake is not simply a handshake. It is God reaching out to God and reaffirming and recognizing and acknowledging itself as each person. To what degree are we aware of this? Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Now, many people refer to this as a soul mate. But let's remix this. Ready? Love is the absolute composition. Love is the one soul, spirit, all. And as the one, it not only inhabits, but also incarnates as everyone and everything. Breathe. Why go through life as though it were something to be endured? As though there were not enough good or there's not enough joy to go around? Are we not always limiting the possibility of love and affection? Limiting appreciation and limiting the common everyday good as it shows up in the various things in our lives? If we are really in union or communion with a divine source, then there should also be a feeling of abundance in everything we do. An abundance of friendship, an abundance of self-expression, an abundance of everything. The abundant life contains all things, regardless of if we measure them and call one thing big and another small or little. It's abundance. So why go through life as though because we are taught the Judeo-Christian idea of we are supposed to suffer to succeed? It is by the sweat of our brow that we must. It's the curse that was given to Adam and Eve in the garden. By the sweat of your brow, through your toiling, your blood, sweat, and tears. And so we have adopted this idea that we are to take up our cross and carry it. And our cross shows up as a great many things in our lives. The cross shows up as the various baggage we carry. Each bag carrying all kinds of things, from unforgivingness to guilt, resentment, shame, unaddressed trauma, self-hatred, and more. Why do we go around carrying this? Because the wounded child was trained to do so. Our culture and society, even today, big boys don't cry. There's a bag. Little girls don't do that. Be a lady. There's a bag. And we carry these bags, and they cause us to eventually, we can no longer bear the weight of, and then we suffer. That's not a demonstration of life-affirming abundance, though it is still abundance. It's an abundance of bags, an abundance of weight, an abundance of burden. Still abundance, but it's not life-affirming. Science of mind proclaims the spiritual nature of humankind. It removes fear by introducing love. It removes non-life affirming fear by introducing love. It places us in the mind of God as some part of the eternal wholeness. It gives shelter to our souls. It satisfies the natural hunger of our intellect for a larger, more meaningful life. It surrenders indecision for divine guidance. For human fear, it responds by giving spiritual faith. So science of mind, per Ernest Holmes here, is simply saying that science of mind offers us a way to change the channel from the non-life affirming to the more life affirming. But we're going to remix it nonetheless. Science of Mind and Spirit 4.0 proclaims the spiritual nature of all kinds. It removes the tendency to avoid or bypass fear and allows us to be in a space where love can examine and heal the fear. First, by acknowledging its presence, and then by being present with it. It unlocks our awareness that we are in the mind of God and it is in us. We are what the eternal wholeness is as it expresses itself as us. Breathe. To actively embody and engage with the science of mind and Spirit 4.0 is to practice being in an ever-present, ever ongoing process of spiritual awakening, just like breathing. Being open at the top and bottom can be likened to upgrading a smartphone or a computer. The system of our lives, the software, our mental equivalents, can be in a continual state of upgrade, evolving, awakening. But this requires a level of awareness and consciously choosing to embody and apply. Just as many of us postpone or ignore a phone or computer upgrade. Hold on a second. Phone always wants to upgrade. Postpone later. Okay. What was I saying? Many of us postpone or ignore a phone or computer upgrade. Many of us also postpone or ignore our emotional, intellectual, social, financial, physical, and spiritual upgrades. Breathe. Study, integrate, and apply. This week's affirmation, our declaration, I will say it first, and if it resonates with you, I invite you to say it with me the second time. I am Ruach Elohim, personified, The presence of love breathes itself as me. Together. I am Ruach Elohim personified. The presence of love breathes itself as me. And so it is. This week's opportunity for the Thursday night study group or your own personal journaling. Number 1, how might I reach my 51%? Number 2, what do I need to be and do in order to awaken spiritually? Number 3, what is my particular way of escaping, avoiding, medicating myself so that I don't have to face myself, face others, face life, face the news, etc.? Number 4, what life-affirming choices am I encouraged and invited to make today as a result of today's message? Number 5, how can I more consciously practice meeting love with love? In other words, God with God. How can I more consciously? I don't like them, but I know they're God. So how can I more consciously meet love with love, even when they're not exhibiting love, but I know that they're still made of love. Love is the truth of what they are. So how can I do it more consciously? And lastly, what happens when I turn towards the thing that I want to avoid? And by turning towards it, I am then able to address it and heal it. For example, there's this thing called racism. And a lot of places in New Thought, we are told, turn away from the condition, turn away from the experience. Okay. So you go into an operating room and you're laying on the table and everyone in the room turns their back to you. Okay, I'm in here for bunion removal. How y'all gonna remove this bunion if ain't nobody turned around to face me? How can a firefighter fight a fire, a building, if the hoses are facing away from the fire? So what happens when I turn towards the thing that I want to avoid? Politics. When I turn towards the thing that I want to avoid? Gun violence. What happens when I turn towards the thing that I want to avoid? And by turning towards it, I am then able to address it and heal it. Breathe. We continue our practice by having a conversation with someone about the intersection of love and fear in your life. What does it mean when they cross paths? That intersection. What is it? What's it look like? What's it mean? And so let us breathe as we bring today's message to a close, simply anchoring and grounding in the divine Ruach, this breath. And we simply let this breath be all that it is, because this breath is already an amen. This divine inhalation and exhalation is already the divine process of love, loving itself. Every breath we take, God loving God, God expressing God, life expressing life, love expressing love, joy expressing joy, every breath. And so the more I bring my awareness to this, the more I increase the capacity. The more I increase the embodiment, the more I awaken spiritually, the more I am able to actively create a world that works for all. Because I am now able to see love where others see hate. I see healing where others only see pain and trauma. I see the potential for evolution and healing and love because I am willing to face it. I am willing to be tempered by and strengthened by my spiritual awareness that becomes my embodied way of living that I now apply in my life. And as I say I, this I applies to all who are watching and listening now. I is the we that God is as all that is. And so I breathe, knowing that the law receives all of this entire message, all of the thoughts, all of the emotions, receives it all. And in this moment, the move from medicate to meditate is happening. The 51% happening. The spiritual awakening happening. The divine Ruach Elohim happening. The Amen happening. And so I breathe, knowing that it is already done, it is already complete, it is already showing up. It is already blooming and growing and shifting and shaping in all sorts of ways. And so I do what is mine to do to reap the harvest and replant the seeds for the next harvest. For just as breath, one inhale becomes that exhale, followed by another breath, inhale, exhale, the seeds become the harvest, which become the seeds, which become the harvest. The amen yields to the next amen, to the next amen, to the next amen, and the next. And knowing that this is the process of the divine acting upon itself and that it is good and that we get to choose good and more good, greater and greater good, moment by moment, breath by breath. It is with great joy and gratitude that I now surrender this breath, surrender this word, meaning I am not attached to it. I know it's now out in the world, moving through all of creation, shifting and shaping whatever needs to be shifted and shaped. So just like the seeds in hand are released to the soil, I let them be and know that it is. And so it is. And so it is. Much love, much appreciation as always. Blessings, be well. See you next week for our final week in the month of June. Whew. Love you. Appreciate you. Glad to know you. Take care. Be well.
Today's message is complete, something to believe, a seed of truth that we can practice if we choose to receive. As we take the science of mind and spirit for corridor to every corner of the world where the healing needs to go. We know it's not a secret, can't block behind a door. It's the wisdom that we're living and love is what we share it for. Now step into the world, be a healing, hopeful beacon. You walk in the path and offering to all who may be seeking. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. With gratitude, love, and a joy so deep. We have principles, practices, and promises we're all going to keep. Take the teaching out into the busy street, to every stranger and every soul you meet. Dedication to liberation is the key we hold. A story of freedom that's waiting to be told. Right where you are is holy ground. Feel into your rhythm and the sacred sound. You're an incarnation of the divine. You're holy, powerful, and good. And you are called to be that in the world and do what only you could. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. With gratitude, love, and a joy so deep, we have principles, practices, and promises we're all gonna keep. Be the change that you want to see. Unlock the chains and set all life free. From the heart of the city to the jungles and open plains, breaking the cycles of oppression and its heavy chains. It's a revolution of the body, the mind, and the soul. Mending, making, and manifesting the broken parts now finally whole. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. With gratitude, love, and a joy so deep, we have principles, practices, and promises we're all gonna keep. Right where you are sacred. Right where you are, shining so bright. Right where you are, the divine is expressing. Right where you are, life. So live it every day. Make the vision now come sing. In divine is not far off watching. It is incarnating itself as you. Have an amazing week and know that you are loved.